Bottle Girl Service Challenge number 1.
Oh no, am I gonna open it up? I like the way Sean opens it up.
Today's challenge for the number 1 bottle girl at Le Bon is to open a bottle of Minato Prosecco.
I am opening it. All right, let's do it.
Challenge number 1. Challenge number 1.
Wait, how
Here
do
we
do
go.
this again? I don't remember.
Do you know how to?
I'm joking.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure you don't need to? Oh, okay. Yes. Cheers to us.
All right, now I'm
Cheers to you. Cheers to me. Cheers to one too many. This is what we're doing. Okay, so we were just talking about opening bottles. This is my wonderful guest, Zai Borg. I work with her at Le Bon. She is fantastically amazing.
Thanks.
You are the first trans person that I have on the show,
Hello.
which is amazing, which is huge, I think.
I'm glad.
Yes, good. And we were just talking about opening bottles because I'm celebrating some accomplishments and some great things in my life, and I'm also celebrating the fact that she's here today. And we are going to have some fun. So cheers.
Cheers.
Salud. Cheers. So rule number 1, when you're in a club, it is actually illegal, at least in the state of New York, to allow your guest or patron to open not only just their bottle of Prosecco or champagne, or I also believe any bottle for that matter, but also your beer. So when people ask for me to give them beers, when people ask
Wait, we give like pictures of beers.
You're selling yourself out already.
We give like pictures of beers, and there's like 8 beers in it. So it's like, I'm not gonna open all 8 beers for you at once.
I mean, I know that's a little.
I would hope that they can open their own fucking beers.
Of course they can, but the problem is that they can put it in their pocket and walk out of the club. That's the problem, and then it can get traced back to the bar, and then it can get traced back to the bartender or
Just say
the
you
server.
got that shit from a bodega. Come on, don't ride up, LaVain.
You never know. You never fucking know with these people. Can't take
Right.
chances. I don't trust them.
Sure,
I don't even trust my landlord. No, actually, I do. I love you, Tommy. That's sad. I should not be saying that. But anyways, I wanted to bring you on here because you're a super interesting person. We're just talking about you coming from Montana all the way out to New York. How many years ago?
I've been in New York. It'll be 4 years in December.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And
And
then I lived in Oregon for like 6 years.
Oh, sick.
So I moved there when I was 17.
Okay, cool. Why'd you move to Oregon?
It was the first like closest city, and I wanted to get out of small town, rural Montana.
You went to Portland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Lived in my car. Whole shebang.
Lived in your car.
Yep.
For how long?
4 months.
4 months?
Mm-hmm. And then I got scammed into going to an art institute of Portland. It was like, oh, yeah, I love the idea of paying $700 a month to share a room on a cot with other students.
Scammed. I love it. On a
It
cot.
is. That is such a scam.
We all get scammed every once in a while. It's okay.
True.
Okay, so how was that experience? How long were you there for?
I went to the school for like 1 term, and before I was like, this is a scam, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what'd you do?
Then I moved in with my best friend at the time into an apartment, like a 1-bedroom, and we just like shared it. I lived in the living room and he lived in the 1-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Significantly cheaper and way prettier, and like had a cool city moment life.
Cool. This was in Portland, Oregon, right?
Yep.
Did you ever go back to school after that or no?
I went to community college for like a year and some after that. And then I was like, I think I just quit doing that as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's the goal for you? What does life look like for you? Like the goal. What is that?
I want to have my own line, basically.
Your own line.
Yeah.
Clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
Clothing.
Yeah. That, and I don't know, I have like so many fucking aspirations. I can't even like pinpoint it to just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I don't know, I want to make music. I want to act a little.
Mm-hmm.
I've done some modeling. We'll do some more modeling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I want to do it all.
Yeah.
I want to do every single aspect of all of it.
Yeah. I think you could. I think the world's your oyster, and you just gotta do it.
Yeah.
It can get scary sometimes, especially I'm sure being trans is a huge
Literally.
Barrier to break down for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As always, and that's kind of also a part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on here, not only because you're just an interesting person in general, but because I think we need to talk about what it means to be trans in the nightlife and the service industry.
Yeah.
Not only in the United States, but New York specifically, because we are here. You know what I mean? And like, what's that like? What's that been like for you? Especially because I was asking you about your past because I was trying to get to like when you first started getting into the service industry.
I've always been in the service industry since I was like 15,
Mm-hmm.
14.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Cool.
worked at Applebee's.
Oh God, classic.
As a server.
The neighborhood.
Yeah, literally.
My favorite neighborhood
Yeah.
to never go to.
No, never go to Applebee's. It's so gross. It's so gross.
The one neighborhood that I stay away from more than any other neighborhood
It's the Apple neighborhood.
is the Apple. I'm from Appleton too,
Oh, wow.
so that makes
No
no
bees,
connection,
no
but
bees.
still, just no. Yeah.
No bees.
So cool. You've been serving most of your time in the service industry.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. And what has been your journey? So you started out at Applebee's. Have you worked because Lebanon is a pretty amazing place to work at,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it
So
took me
what has
forever
that
to get
journey?
somewhere that way. That nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you have to go through?
Okay, so Applebee's, I started there. Then what happened? I was like I moved out of the house when I was 16. So I was I lived with like a friend for free. Saved up money to like just get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. And what happened? Somebody hit my car in the parking lot, and then they gave me like $6,000 to like a 17-year-old. That's so much money. So I was like, I'm out, and then left. Had all this money and just like lived in my car until I like found a nice place and like made it work.
It's meant to be.
Yeah. And then I worked at a Australian place as a server there for like 2 years. Then I worked at this like bougie place where I was like a bartender server.
This is here in New York?
No, in Portland.
In Portland, okay.
Got fired for being trans essentially, but they said it was my work ethic. And then I was like, that's not possible because my numbers are higher than everybody else's. I don't understand. And they were like, and then they stopped like showing all the numbers to all the servers. They're like, you guys can't see your numbers. And we're like, okay. And then they like finally figured out a way to get rid of me. And I think it was because I was like 5 minutes late one day. And then later on, a manager quit and was like, I have records of them stating in emails that they wanted to fire you because you're trans. They couldn't deal with it. They were just like, it's too much. And at the time I was like, I'm just going to take the high road and not sue them. And I should have because it's like covered in Oregon. What? Yeah. Then I worked at another place and it was kind of the same thing. Like I worked there. Everybody was like, you're phenomenal at your job. All the people who get it that got it. And then what happened? This guy that was like the main manager, he like hated me from day one. And then finally he let me go and I was like, why? And he said, you just don't look the part. And I was like, what do you mean look the part? And he like couldn't explain it to me. And I was like, again, for being trans. And I was like, I'm out. I got a coffee shop job and then just like became a barista. which is like full of really cool people. I don't know if you've worked as a barista before, but like those kids are so cool. They're all like musicians always.
Yeah.
And then I moved to New York.
Crazy.
And I walked dogs.
I love that you're able to laugh it off because you just don't give a fuck.
That shit was funny, but also it's like really fucked up.
It's so fucked up, but you don't care to a degree. That is hilarious, and I love it so much because you're like, fuck you people.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you think about me, I'm going to like keep coming up and prevail because like you're fucking low life, your energy is wrong, your mind is wrong.
Literally.
You know? So, okay, cool. So you get to New York. Where did you work in New York before coming to Lebanon?
So I worked as a dog walker, and for this horrendous, racist, misogynistic, fucking like horrible man. And it got to a point where I was like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm literally like, I picked this job because I don't want to talk to people. And I was like, you're the last person I want to talk to. And so it got to a point where I was just like, pay me. I know exactly what to do. I'm going to go to the dogs. I have the keys. I know exactly all I need to do. Just don't talk to me. And honestly, I was trying so hard to get out of that job. And I got like a interview at Stumptown, which was like a dream. I don't know why. I was like, I always wanted to work at Stumptown.
Stumptown is like the Mercedes-Benz of fucking coffee shops.
Yeah, it is.
It's not the nicest. Yeah. Like, it ain't Lamborghini.
Exactly.
But it is fucking good.
It's really good.
Yeah. They take their shit seriously over there.
So then what happened after that? then the pandemic happened, and I was just living off of that unemployment money for a long time.
Yeah.
And partying so fucking much.
I partied a lot during COVID too. It was terrible.
2020 was the best year. We were like out protesting, and then we would go and like have raves in the forest. It was so fucking fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just fucking partying on the streets all the time because there was like no rules back then, like nothing.
I miss
wild.
It. Yeah. And then
it was a lot of fun.
I worked at a different coffee shop. They like tried like having a coffee moment, and then they shut down because like business wasn't like running at all enough. Mm-hmm. And then I went back to Stumptown, and then I had an interview at Levain.
Cool. And what has that transition been like for you? Like, first of all, did you ever like have to sell bottles at any of your gigs before?
Nope.
No. So that's a little bit different from something that you've been doing or that you were doing. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that, because I don't really ever sell bottles. I don't really have to push for that ever. Right. So what are you kind of looking for when you sell a bottle to somebody?
I kind of don't take no for an answer. And I'm really good at it. Being like, no, I'm not bringing you in individual drinks. Do you see this crowd?
Yeah.
And then they're like, wow, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
oh my
facts.
God, there's no way that you could bring this through the crowd. And I'm like, exactly. So the best way, because I have so many fucking tables, is that you get a bottle, I bring it all over here, and then I check on you for like every half hour. And they're like, that's the best plan ever. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Bottles.
It's science.
It
it's
is.
so
And, like,
mind-blowing.
the math is there. And then you have your own like mixture of drinks. You don't have to go to the bar, and I'm like refilling them constantly.
Yeah.
Busters are supposed to help with that, but they don't.
Well, and it's funny too, because well, first of all, anybody going to a club and sitting at a table,
they literally think that they get individual drinks. It's so weird.
When you're at a club. I'm not talking about a cocktail lounge. I'm not talking about a regular bar. I'm talking about a club.
A club.
When you are at a club, if you want a table in New York City, bitch, you are buying a bottle.
I know. Even pitchers is kind of weird. Why are you getting pitchers?
I'm okay with pitchers because
I know I am too, but I'm just like, get a bottle. Like, it makes no sense. Just go off.
Yeah, I think it depends on the day, though.
We do make more money if they get a shitload of pitchers, and they think that they're like being cheap, but they're not.
Right, they're not saving much money. No. Right.
The money saver is actually bottles.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe.
The only reason it seems like a lot for us is because it's a lot of money at once. But they're like having all this alcohol in one drink. A pitcher is $65. There's 5 drinks in it.
Right.
But if they were getting individual cocktails, that's also like basically they're paying way more too. So like if I wanted to do like individual cocktails, like that's why day shifts are cool, because like they're only getting individual cocktails. But then it ends up being way more because they don't think they get a pitcher, but then they're paying for every single drink. So then the pitchers, it's like that adds up so fast, and there's not that much drink. So if it's a 10 top, 2 drinks each, I don't know.
2 drinks each would be about, on average,
2 pitchers.
30. We could say $30 to $35.
Right.
So 10 people, that's going to be at least a $300 tab, which is nothing though.
No, not for like 10 people.
No, that's
$30
ridiculous. Each. Especially
if you're coming to, especially when I tell them that.
I know, especially if you're coming to one of the best clubs in New York City. Like this is, in my opinion, the best house music club in Manhattan.
Right.
It's possibly the best house music club in New York. It has the best view in New York, in my opinion. I haven't been to a better rooftop than Le Bon. And we don't even charge a cover to get in. So,
which I think is crazy.
Which is crazy. But it also makes that place absolutely amazing because we don't get all the douchebags that have a fuck ton of money that want to come blow money, but they're only getting in because they can fucking spend a ton of money. Like the doorman will still not let them in. They'll just be like, dude, you're not the vibe.
Yeah.
Like you're not the vibe. Like, sorry about that. You think that your money can get you in anywhere. Sorry.
Not today.
You know, we care more about who you are, not what you have.
Right.
And I think that's the amazing part about Le Bon and why it's survived so long and why it's so special, especially when it comes to the people that we hire.
Right.
We have an insanely diverse staff. Mm-hmm. I mean, like from race, religion to sexuality to gender. I mean, we have everybody pretty much across the board, legitimately.
Yeah, literally.
It's insane. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everybody just loves everybody, which I love about it. I mean, obviously we have our issues with people, and I don't know if you've had any issues with people, but for the general, you know, general, that is the...
We have like a close
That's the energy, right?
Yeah. We have a close-knit, and like it seems like everybody kind of like brings in new people like when they hired, but then there's a lot of people who don't want to be a part of it too, but like we all go out and it's so fun. Yeah,
it's been one of the closest. I've worked there on and off for 6 years, and it's been, I think it's possibly the closest like tight-knit group that has ever worked there.
Yeah,
and it's definitely the most diverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been that diverse before, which I think is amazing. But, you know, at the end of the day, it comes down to energy. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if you feel really lucky.
Agree.
I don't know if you feel, you know, compared, you know, because you've already told me stories about you getting fired for, you know, all these reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you feel at Le Bon, but if it is a safe place for you, as I spit everywhere, I would love for you to talk about that. I mean, I don't know what your feelings are.
So in the beginning, I feel like I was like the first trans person there, except for Connie at the door. And I feel like I had to pave a lot of way for like future trans people. Cause at first, like the security was like super transphobic. And I was the one that was getting harassed the most on the floor. And like, I finally was like, you guys need to be having my fucking back, and you guys cannot be transphobic. Like, they're weird. They don't like look at me. They like intentionally like avoid me, but now they're like better. Yeah. Because maybe like they're like fine with me now. I don't know what it is that changed, but they were weird as fuck when I first started, and I had such a problem with them, all of them. I would get misgendered by a lot of them, and like they would laugh at me if I corrected them. It was like a lot, and I went to like Mishu and Harry, and they all like held them accountable and like talked to them, and then ever since that happened, they like switched it up. And I was like, also it's like I'm working at a nightclub, and like you're supposed to be protecting me, and they would intentionally not be. Like if a guy touched me, they would be like, they wouldn't really care or do anything. Whereas when all the cis girls would get touched, they would be,
It's okay.
they would be basically,
Go ahead. Keep going.
wait, what?
Keep going. You're saying they wouldn't protect you when, like, if a guy touched you, they wouldn't protect you, and then you're saying all the cis girls, like, if somebody did touch them,
they were there
and they reported
immediately.
it.
They were not even reporting it. They would like watch all the cis girls and make sure all of them were like all safe and good. And I was like, all right, well, these bitches are not getting touched as much as I am, and because for some reason, because I'm trans, guys think that like it's fair game. I'm just a slut, and so they just go in on it. And I'm like, all right, back the fuck up. But I don't know that. Yeah, at first that was a big problem, and I feel like there was like some things with management too at the beginning, but I like resolved that as well. I feel like I like paved up a good way, and then they started hiring more trans girls, and like I don't know, maybe I like set an example of how like sickening we are, but they like brought more girls on.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Because now we have like, well, Di left, but we had 5 girls.
And are there 3 now?
4.
Ven,
Alana, me, and Connie.
Oh, and Connie, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I'm also not too surprised by what you're saying about the security.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of them are older.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like Muslim, or like they have, I mean, they come.
But you're at a club.
And
it's a queer club.
I know that. But but you know that security, I'm pretty sure that security team is not actually a
part
of the Standard Hotel. I believe that they are hired out.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a company that has some kind of contract with the Standard Hotel to provide security for them.
Then I think it's important for like Laban to make sure that everybody that they bring on outsourced to make sure that they're all safe, because if you're going to have queer parties, they need to be making sure queer people are safe.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially trans girls, because everybody's fucking got it out for us. As much as we want to pretend like it's not a thing, but they're always coming for us. I swear to God.
Yeah, but then you're
girls
saying
that are pissed that we're pretty, guys that are like pissed because now they think they're gay. Like it's all over the board.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're telling me you're saying it. You're telling me all these things about you getting touched more than all the cis girls, and it's fucking amazing. I love to hear this because it's. First of all, I never really hear it much from you or from other people, right?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of funny because that's the world that we're living in. People have such an issue with who they are and any kind of sexual feelings that they might have.
They have to repress it.
Right, towards either a trans person or another man if they're a guy, and it's crazy to hear this from you. And this is what I want people to hear, because I freaking barely hear it and I work in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's wild.
So okay, come on now, and now we need a story. What's one of the craziest things that somebody's done to you while you've been working in the club?
I got one guy kicked out because he would always like, I don't know how he would do it, but like he would find me so fast, and he would come always to Suzanne Barch's party, and he would just like grab me and like try making out with me. Excuse me. And like I was like, no, back up. And a lot of the dolls like were like, all right, how like we'll let you do this kind of stuff, but like how much money do you have? So it's like I'm like, I didn't really do anything about it in the beginning because like he did it so often. I was like, he might have money, and I was like, I started like kind of talking to him, and I was like, no, you don't have money. You're out, and now he's banned. He's not allowed in. So yeah, don't fuck with me. Don't try to kiss me.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
I had one guy that was nice though. Like, I mean, it was kind of weird at first. There was like one night, I had 5 tables. Every single one of them asked me on a date. And I was like, whoa. One of them was married and his wife was there, and she was so fucking pissed. And he like was like, what are you doing after this? Like, can I take you on a date? What's your number? And I was like, while his wife is there paying for the bill, I was like, all right.
Oh my God.
He was like, give me a kiss on the cheek before you leave. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And I gave him a kiss and then walked away. And then I had this table of girls that were like, was it?
I was not expecting you to go there and say yes, you would do it, but you did. That's amazing.
Well, no, we all just wait. There was so then there was these girls. And then they like one girl was like, she's too scared to ask you, but she wants to know if you're like into girls and like want to go to date. She thinks you're really pretty. And I was like, no, sorry. I was like currently seeing John at the time, and then I had another table that was like, what happened?
Keep going.
It was like a huge table, and there was one guy, he was like, sit on my lap, and he was like so fucked up. And of course I sat on his lap. I was like down, like he was so cool and like nice, and he was like, I need to take you out like sometime. And I was like, I think I gave him my number, or maybe I didn't, or maybe he gave me his number, but yeah. And then he like gave me a kiss on the cheek, and then he was like, how much money do I put on this tip? And I was like, more than that. And then I was like, no more. And then he like put like a big number on. I was like, cool, thank you. And then I walked away like immediately. And that was when like John was there too. Like I think he came and visited me, and I was like, this is so funny that I'm like, what happens at work stays at work. I have to get that shit done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're and whoever you're dating should, know that that's a part of the job.
Yeah.
We all know that going
Flirting.
into it. You know how much
I know.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you're the
whatever,
flirt
whatever,
machine,
whatever.
Bane.
Pause service. What were we saying? like dead ass. I am known for that. Everyone says Kyle will literally stop service and start talking to a girl or whoever the fuck. Even if it's a guy, I'll be talking to him and flirting my ass off and just playing the game. You know what I'm saying? We got to play the game a little bit out there.
Luckily, he's a bartender, so I'm like, he gets it. He has to get it.
Oh, John's a bartender.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You guys are seeing each other now or dating?
We've been together for 10 months.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What was it like coming from Montana? Because we talked about you growing up on a farm, having sheep.
I kind of blocked that life out. Like, I don't really remember a lot. I don't know. I had a very abusive family, and they were actually never, like, against me being gay when I first came out. They're not even against me being trans now. Yeah, so they're all in full support, but they're just, like, mentally ill. So, yeah, I had to get away from my mom as soon as possible, and I did.
I can relate to you, and I didn't have like in a super abusive family situation, but there are things that have happened to cause me to feel the same way about my childhood. When I like look back, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I don't even remember this.
Yeah,
like I don't have clear, like a general overview I have, but not like good detail. I don't have like, it kind of feels like a part of you is kind of missing, right?
Yeah.
Like you were always kind of waiting to grow up or get out, or right? Like, I mean, at least that's what it kind of feels for me. But but when it comes to like kind of that blacking out or kind of forgetting, for me it wasn't super intentional, but it happened by process.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have like, yeah, definitely. I don't know. Like, I definitely remember everything, but I'm like, I don't know. The town was like, for me, I was like, the entire time in high school, I was like, I am so above these people. They're so boring. They're so boring. And like, and I could just see it. And like, I started waking up more and being like, I think it was because of Tumblr. Tumblr literally saved my life. Oh, wow. I was like seeing that there were like cool artists and people out there and like queer people. And I was just like, oh my God, all these people around me are just so boring. They have literally nothing to them. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm honestly probably going to be somebody someday. And I was like, I don't care. And I stopped being friends with everyone. I was like so uninterested in talking to anyone.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You're like the new age, like Paris Hilton. I feel like
Ew.
the Montana born and bred Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Who didn't come from money or didn't come from
anything
like obviously the Hilton family, but just because I love your style, I'm like, you can see it in your eyes. Like
Thanks.
you're very creative. You think very
True.
thoroughly. You're very, very smart for how old you are.
Virgo.
A Virgo. I don't know anything about Virgos.
But you just like listed things that were very Virgo, and I'm a Virgo.
Well,
Yes.
good. I guess I'm on point with my
Description.
What you
Yeah.
exude.
Wait, what sign are you?
I'm an Aquarius
Cool.
Capricorn cusp.
Whoa.
Yeah, January 20th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's coming up if you want to give me a birthday present anytime soon.
Okay.
When's Virgo?
I'll think about it.
When's Virgo?
September.
Okay, September. Okay, cool. Early September or
Early.
end? Okay. When
So
does
it's
it
like
end?
August. It's like August 22nd till like September 23rd
20.
or 21st.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Where was I going to go with you after that? We were talking about what I was saying was that you're super creative, and I think you will.
Thanks.
I mean, you are somebody,
Yeah.
you know, and you're going to continue to grow because, like I said, like you can see
True.
it in your eyes. Like literally, you can see it in your eyes. You've been through, you know, the shit that you've had to go through to become who you are today, and now it's
Yeah.
just gonna only keep getting easier. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to like stop being my biggest self-critic, I guess.
Okay.
And
Why
just
do you
be
say
like,
that?
fuck everything and just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always been like, ooh, what if people think I'm gonna be weird for doing this? And I'm like, why do I care? Like there was like this high school Zai that was like, I don't give a fuck about anything anybody says or thinks about me. And now it's like, now I'm like, feel like I'm under a lens. Maybe that's just part of being trans, but like, I just feel like everybody's watching me because they all are. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what's that weird thing walking down the street? I swear. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even exist.
I can't even exist.
Yeah. But now I'm like, wait, they're always going to stare, so fuck it.
Yeah, they're always gonna stare for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. I mean, I remember I was thinking about this before you came over here, and a friend of mine, Sharon Needles. I don't know if you know who Sharon Needles
Yeah, I
is.
do.
I was at a wedding with her and a couple of my friends who are very close friends with her, and I had gone out in the morning, and they had I don't remember if I had makeup on or I was wearing like some kind of heel or boot or something like that, like very feminine like boot. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like walking next to Sharon, and I'm like looking over my shoulder. I'm like, fuck, is somebody about to like jump me right now? Like think
Right.
I'm like gay or trans or like whatever, because I'm out in the middle of like bumfuck Long Island somewhere
Yeah.
or something like that. And I was thinking about that before you came over here, because I'm like, man, what a life it is to have to
be
go
that every
be
day.
that every single day.
I know. Like drag queens get to take it off. Trans girls don't.
Right?
Yeah. That's why, that's how I always put it. I'm like, we're not the same.
Yeah.
It's an everyday occurrence, like, versus a one night occurrence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah.
Very, very, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's who you are. I mean, you know, doing drag is character work, is character play.
Yeah.
You know, it's play.
Yep.
This is real life for you. So
Exactly.
you're gonna have a boot, because we all know you love your boots. When you drop your line, right?
Wait, what?
When-
Oh,
when
yeah.
you drop
Am I
your
going to
line,
have boots?
You're gonna have some boots.
If I know how to, like, right now I'm just thinking of clothes. I don't
Okay.
know how to, I would love to make boots, but I'm like, I do not know where to start with that shit. This is, like, so complex. Versus, like, everything else, it's, like, so easy to, not easy, well, I guess it's not easy to make, but, like, kind of easy to make. But, like, a shoe is so interesting. Like, how do you, like, fold it perfectly? I don't know. I don't get it.
Okay, so where do you want your line to go? Like, what's the style? What's the vibe? Because you have this like kind of like goth country,
Exactly.
feminine, like look.
Yeah.
Right?
Goth country, kind of piratey. I don't know.
Okay, so you need to move to Nashville, make fucking country music, and become the first goth trans
Right.
country.
I have a really good
person.
country voice. Like a
You
male
do.
country voice. I'm really
You
good
do.
at it.
You do.
I'm like, do I do it?
Maybe
I don't even know if I can.
Maybe that's where this is going. So any talent managers and reps and music labels that might stumble across this.
Hi, my name is Zai, and I would love to be your country girl.
On some kind of dirt road.
Did you ever go to a
We're gonna say-
derby?
A derby?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh,
No.
okay. You know what they are, though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Horse racing.
No.
A derby.
A derby. A derby is like where you get like shitty cars and you're like
Oh, okay.
slam into each
That.
other.
No, I haven't.
But it's usually at like a rodeo. It's like one of the things that happen.
Yeah. I haven't been to one live, but always wanted to go to one as a kid. Why'd you ask me that question?
I don't know. I was just thinking about what it's like to live in like a rural place like us that does like very country things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the one thing for me was like derbies.
Mm.
My stepdad was in it. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Derbies.
Those aren't everywhere.
No, I don't think so.
Those are a little less common.
Yeah.
Requires more like money, maintenance, that kind of shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you live like next to a scrapyard, usually you just get like their shit. That's how they make cars.
That makes sense.
Their cars. Because
Yeah.
then you just beat them up.
Right. I used to love to play in like little video games that had I have these memories of playing video games. I don't know what they were called, but that was always like some fun that I like to have doing derbies. Yeah, that's
What-
why I know them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I ever went to one in Wisconsin, but I'm sure they're there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're there. They have to be. There's everything in Wisconsin like that, like very country, very. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sick. I'm going to get a cup of sweet vermouth. I'm drinking Carpano Antica as well.
Whoa.
Yeah. We are drinking the Minetta Prosecco. I also have some Espolón or Mezcal before we wrap this little guy up if you would like anything.
Espolón sounds good. Do you have any mixers?
I have some Sprite.
That sounds good.
It's Reposado.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to make you one.
Thanks.
Okay, we took a little break. Got a little Prosecco in us. Some Carpano Antica.
And Espolón.
Some Espolón Reposado, which I needed to look up what Reposado means, which is sad because I don't know what it means and I'm a bartender.
It tastes like vanilla. It's like more vanilla-y.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Reposado is much more like vanilla flavored. But anyways, we just had a cool conversation about your photography and all the other things you didn't mention on this podcast and all the
Yeah.
other artistic things that you do. But that's
Forgot
not
to
what it's
mention.
about. That's not what this is about. This is about nightlife and
True.
and life, right?
Oh my god, wait. If we want to talk about nightlife, I should have like showed you all my old stuff. Wait.
Okay, what?
Okay, I thought you were asking about me as a person. All right. Do
I
you want
was-
to know my nightlife story?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right, where do I begin? Oregon. I turned 21, which I'm honestly pissed off that I didn't get a fucking fake beforehand, still to this day, but I waited until I was 21 to go to bars. There was one time that person snuck me in and whatever. Anyway, the queer community was like booming in like Portland, Oregon at the time, and like Portland was like a hub for like going out to the clubs. It was so fucking fun. We'd all get up into like club kid like outfits and like so extravagant and like crazy shit and like would go out and party and get so fucked up, and that was like a big part of like my queer identity, because before that, as like the famous photographer Portland guy, guy at the time, was like, what's it called? What was I saying? I'm tipsy.
You were saying you would go out, do club kid shit. It was before, like, it was during the time, or
Where it was like all booming, but like at
Yeah.
the time, like that like helped me realize a lot about myself. I think I was also homeless then. I like lived with a friend in their like RV, or not RV, they had like a camper outside, and we just like lived in that for a minute, and I was like living rent free, and it was just like all these like crazy outfits, and it was like the whole point of going out was just like to like be seen in like these weird extravagant ways, and I started performing, which was so not like me. I fucking hate performing. But my stuff, my like drag, I guess, was basically I was like this like alienated creature, definitely weird and like unlike anybody else. And what happened? I would like do like
creature.
Basically very scary performances. It's so weird hearing myself speak.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You would do scary performances?
Yeah, like basically a lot of blood and like beating people up and like, but like come out in these like extravagant like pieces that like I didn't really see people doing in drag. Like my drag was always like this creature. It was never like this beautiful woman.
Oh, cool.
So I was always like,
cool.
I was like, I don't think I'm a drag artist. I'm definitely like a performance artist.
Cool.
And I would always tell stories. And like my last performances, do you know the song Night Call?
Oh, that's crazy. No, I don't.
It's so good. Definitely recommend listening to that, Night Call. I think it's like Kevin Sky. It's really good.
House, deep trance, like what is it?
It's kind of housey. I should play it. I'll play it for you after.
Yeah,
it's
we'll
really
play it
good.
after,
And that's when I came out as trans, and I like left my boyfriend who was like abusive, and I was done performing. I was like, as soon as I came out as trans, I was like done photography, done with fucking performing. I was like, all right, now I gotta like explore who this person is, and nothing else mattered. Yeah. But then I moved to to New York, and I tapped back into that person, and would go out in these like insane looks, and like that's all it was like going out and like partying so fucking hard, and like till like 7 a.m. and going to all these different clubs and like all these crazy ass looks, like
yeah,
very much Suzanne Barch's party.
Right.
When we worked that night, I was very much that kid,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's like how I got to New York and like became like this like person. But then honestly, like COVID happened, and I was like, I'm a pretty girl. No more of this like weird alien person. I'm like gorge girl. So then I was like done with the gorge, like the fucking man, like weird alien person, non-binary, very much non-binary. And was like, I'm a girl. And then I came out and was just like, I'm a gross girl. And like did all this, like went to these punk shows and like would like beat people up and like go on this like fucking spray paint all this like shit. I was like doing crazy shit, and that was like during COVID. And I came to like this realization. My hair was always dyed. I had like crazy extravagant blue and pink and orange and green hair all at once. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I need to show you that. Like
You kind of got to go to those, those extremes, yeah, to figure out who that person is, like you said. Or,
exactly.
I think I was gonna ask you why you think it's like a, oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we? Okay. Yeah. Cool. We need to show the people these videos.
How?
Holy fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that blue hair. That's sick.
Yeah. And then I would go out in like these outfits.
Woo! Holy shit.
Yeah. That's how me and Brandon know each other. We would go out in these outfits. And the first time I met Brandon, I was like, you're so hot.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I know Brandon before he was the Brandon that you knew.
Really?
Yeah, or at least what I think. Like, I met him when he was like a fucking freshman at Pratt.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't
That's
remember how I
crazy.
met him. I think I went into like a gallery on Pratt campus because I was shooting a Pratt student like web series at the time. This is like 5 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
5.5 years ago. And he just seemed like a nice little like guy, like a young 19-year-old, like didn't have any, at least I don't think he had any piercings. He was in like, slacks and like a shirt,
Whoa.
like a nice shirt from what I remember. And now it's,
Yeah.
you know, he's got tattoos and I mean, just like living his fucking best life. I love that motherfucker.
I know. You should get him on here.
I love that motherfucker. He should definitely come on here. He is so cool.
He's got so many stories. Me and him have done so many crazy things.
Crazy. So fucking cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, you know, you gotta kind of explore. I feel like that's a part of, and I don't know, but I mean, that's such a common thing, and that's you like, why do you always see that? Like, I want to hear from you why we always see that from trans or queer people, that, like, you know, that extreme
Change.
not the change, but the like the nightlife costuming.
Because it's the only safe place for us to go.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like, you know, you're going to a safe place.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, cool. I can go to the safe place and I can be anything I want to at the safe place.
Yeah.
So it's only, like, the only scary part is getting to that place and getting home from that place. At that point, you're so fucked up. You don't care about getting home at that point.
Right, for sure.
But, like, it's because it's like, that's where the safe spot is. But if it was like, we could do that everywhere, that'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, walking around the street, I feel like so many people would be crazy as fuck looking. But it's happening more now, I feel like.
Yeah.
People are walking around with, like, crazy looks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely happening, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because, I mean, you see those people, whether they're trans, whether they're gay, whether they're straight, whether they're whatever. And not everybody holds these beliefs, but when I see people like that, I don't judge them. I don't think anything. I obviously look at them because they obviously stand out. I
feel like it's art. It's like a
it is art. 100%. It's very much
like
art.
Admirable to watch and, like, see how these people look.
100%.
Yeah.
And I also think about how it's ballsy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very ballsy.
Mm-hmm.
To put yourself out there like that, especially in the middle of a day. 11 a.m.
Yeah.
in like a full look.
Yeah.
9 a.m. in like a full look around all these motherfuckers that are in suits going to work and like all
like
this other shit.
Pop, like, experience, like, it kind of, like, pushes those boundaries, though, because all of us are like, oh, pop culture, like, why is Nicki Minaj going out in this, like, insane look? Or, like, why are these, like, remember that era, like, of 2012 where all those pop people, like, were wearing crazy ass looks? It's like,
Yes.
why can't I wear that on a daily basis?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I go outside looking like that? Because
It's just niche.
I know.
It's
It'd
just
be so cool, though, if it was like we could all, like, look crazy. But I guess then that would also make people not look so crazy if everybody looked crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've been working in, you know, Lebanon for 6 years now, and I've been around
That's crazy.
that community and a lot of other, you know, like queer communities for a long time, and it has subdued for me a bit. Like, I mean, you're in it and you're always living it, but as an outsider, I'm not very surprised. I'm not as interested as I was in it back in 2016, 17, where I worked every Suzanne Barsh party for like 2.5 years straight.
Whoa.
Like 2.5 years straight, I worked every fucking Tuesday. I swear to God on
And
my
those bitches
life.
are such assholes to
Swear
us.
to God on my life I did. And the amount of shit that I saw, like the amount of costumes, and it's still amazing.
It is.
It's still absolutely amazing. I'm not taking anything away from their costumes. All I'm saying is that it's when you've seen it 1,000 times.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're going. I'm like, literally,
It's like, okay, we can move past that now.
Yeah.
Like, let's have that new transition, that new phase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're in your pretty girl.
But I want it to be like
Pretty
punky. Yeah. Like my pretty girl phrase, but like grungy
Hot.
and gross. But like still hot.
Like
Still like the alt girl.
Yeah, like Courtney Love.
Yeah, exactly. Courtney Love.
I know.
Love her.
Like literally when I see you and when I talk to you, even in our text messages, I'm getting responses like hot, cute as fuck. It's giving Tuesday night.
Yes.
6 p.m.
Oh my God. No.
I'm like, this girl is Courtney Love. I swear to God.
Yeah. Love her.
Courtney
She's
Love
amazing.
meets Paris Hilton or some shit. I don't know what. It's fucking amazing though. I love it. Every time I look at you, you remind me of the shit that I grew up watching and like loving, like Kurt Cobain.
Hell yeah.
Like
Love
the
Kurt.
grunge 90s. Like that's was my
fucking goal.
I know.
Is the grunge 90s.
Yes. That's like
been
what I
the
grew
goal.
up idolizing. Like
Yeah.
all those motherfuckers. Korn,
They were
Deftones,
Korn,
Slipknot.
Deftones.
I'm trying to go to Las Vegas in May for the new Sick New World concert that just got fucking announced. It's in Las Vegas. It's like a 2 or 3 day festival.
That's cool.
Korn's headlining. System of a Down, who I was listening to all
them.
day yesterday.
Love
That
them.
fucking Toxicity album, I swear to God on my life, is one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. So I'm trying to go.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, all those bands and that whole culture is like
Agreed.
me to a fucking T
There's-
growing up as a kid.
That's the girl I'm trying to be. Those girls,
Yes.
remember those hot girls
Fucking
from those?
hot, didn't give a fuck,
And
causing
they like had like crazy
recklessness.
like cut hair that was like, but like just choppy, but still like honestly, Megan Fox was like I feel like a good one of those people.
She was close. She was a little past that, but yeah.
She was past that, but like the choppy hair, but like still kind of like gross with the like the low waisted and like the vests and stuff. I
Of
don't
course.
know. That's the girls I'm thinking of.
Of course. Yeah. The Courtney Loves, the Pamela Andersons, the Carmen
Yeah.
Electras,
Pamela
the
Anderson.
you know, I guess you could say Britney and Christina to a degree. They were pop, but then you also get Nicole Richie, Tara, what's her face, the actress.
Yeah.
You know, the hot skinny blondes that wore fucking the ripped jeans and
Yeah.
the low waisted jean type
Mhm.
shit. Like, you know.
Like I want to be the
Oh.
girl that's like gets on and like can also like beat a guy at like arm wrestling or like wrestling in the mud or like dirt biking.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. My whole life existence is always accidentally being better than all men.
What an ego killer for any like super masculine dude.
I
being
know,
like,
and those are the type of
"You get
guys
beat by a
that
fucking trans girl, dude. Like the fuck? And then all of his friends are like, you're a fucking pussy, dude. You're a
Yeah.
fucking pussy. You just lost to a trans girl, dude. What the fuck?
I don't know. Then they would probably be like, but
And
she's
you're-
trans. Let's like,
And then they're
That's the
gonna
only
like
reason.
hook up with you later.
yeah, exactly. Or they're gonna hit on me. I don't know about
At
hook
least hit
up.
on you. Sorry, John. Sorry.
No, he wants to be open. We're good. We're good.
Oh my God. Oh, that's real life. Fuck.
Exactly.
Good Lord. Well, cool. I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
I'm glad we got to spend this time together.
Same.
Fucking really happy. Thank you for sharing all your stories and
Yeah. It was nice.
all the
I'm such an open book with that shit. I don't care.
I know you
I
are.
love talking about it all.
I know you do. I love hearing it, and I love that about you. That's why I knew you'd be fucking great to have on here and
Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad I'm here.
someone to share knowledge.
Finally,
And
after
experiences.
sleeping too much. You're like 2. I was like, yeah, I could do 2. And then I'm like, knowing damn well I don't wake up till 4. We work at Nightlife. I don't get home until 7.
I had to like daddy you. I'm like, all right, let's not have that happen again, okay?
Brandon, I showed Brandon that, and Brandon was like, sorry. What did he say? He was like, sorry, Daddy Kyle.
Dead ass.
Let's not have that happen again. I'm like,
But also, I've had too many people cancel on me, and that shit gets frustrating.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I had to be like real, like,
and you're a busy guy.
and I'm not gonna like snap on you or anything like that because I want to make it happen, and I love you, and I want to,
Yeah.
try to make things work. But like, it's just one of those things. Like, I've had models cancel on me when I'm trying to shoot fucking photographs, and it's
Yeah.
like the time that she or he is supposed to be there, and it's like, hey, where you at? And people just either don't respond or they respond
Right.
like 45 minutes later, and it's okay, this is now the second time, third time. It's just, I didn't want to like have to cut you off.
I know.
Because like at a point it gets to a point where it's like, now it's like my time. I'm also like trying to plan the shit. You know what I mean?
No, I felt so bad.
I
literally like the first half hour I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't. I was like, fuck, I have to like figure out what to say. But I was like, yeah, it was a snooze. And also like, okay, but 4 p.m. isn't that crazy? 4 p.m. is when I woke up. Yo, Labaina's fucked my sleep schedule up. I'm like,
This is what I'm saying.
I don't wake. We get there at 9. I'm like, of course I wake up at 4. Like,
what I'm
and
saying.
then I get home at 7 a.m.
We got to get it together.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been working nights as much, and also why.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also why I have been doing everything I can to try to get out of the business. I mean, it also doesn't help if you're drinking or doing drugs. Not saying that you do, but like, I obviously here and there like drink at work, and when you start getting in those patterns and you're working until 4 a.m. and you're not getting out until 5:30, 6 a.m., 6:30 on crazy nights, like, it becomes a fucking pattern, and then you need a whole fucking day to sleep, and then you don't do anything at night, but then you stay up at night just because now your sleep schedule, like you've been saying, is all fucked up, and then the 2 days that you have off, you're actually just trying to recover, or maybe you even go out with friends that night or something. Then it's like,
just recover.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people. I mean, sometimes you do. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not speaking for you, but sometimes I do. Like, I'll be on a crazy work week, but then like the one night I have off, I'm like, I could stay in and like I want to get rest, but also, what the fuck does it matter at this point? Like, just, it's my one night to actually go and socialize. I've been working every other night.
I know. We haven't even all gone out in so long.
Right? So I
remember when I first started there and we all went out that one night. It was so fucking fun. We all got so fucked up. And then somehow we found an afters too. And I was like, how?
Oh my God. Y'all do afters all the time. I cannot do afters.
Okay. I hate afters. I was just talking to Brandon about this. It's so pointless.
So pointless.
You just sit there and you do fucking coke and you don't say anything. You just sit in a room all smoking weed and doing coke and nothing happens. And you're like, if I'm doing coke, I'm gonna be partying.
Literally.
Like, no, I'm not gonna sit in someone's fucking tiny ass Brooklyn apartment and like do coke.
Yeah, why? Just keep myself up. Just it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
We'll get to that shit later or never.
Right.
After hours suck unless it's at some crazy fucking event. That's the only time I'll do an afters, if it's like a cool DJ set afterwards.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Same thing. I'm not trying to go hang out at someone's apartment. Like, I'm too old for that shit, honestly. Yeah. Like, legitimately, though, I am too old for that shit.
Yeah, right. I feel like old is when you're 40.
I mean, I could still do it, but do I really want to? No. I'm not saying I can't do it.
Yeah.
Just saying it's not good for me.
Yeah. But I'm actually getting to that place, too. Before LeBain, I was literally like, I'm done going out. I don't want to go out anymore. And then Brandon was like, come for this interview, but be yourself. And I was like, okay. And then I got the job immediately. Misha was like, I'm obsessed with you. You have to be on. I have to have you. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I got forced back into fucking Nightlife. I literally was like, I'm done. No more. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And got forced back in.
Well, cool. Cheers to you. Let me redo that. That's kind of like that's like a sin. I mean, there's still a little bit in there, so technically I'm not getting the super bad end of the stick, but I'll give myself a little bit more dignity than that. Cheers to you. Love you. Thank you for coming on. One too many.
Yes.
We're going to take a picture and get out of here.
Cool.
All right. Ciao.